Blessings, everyone. Once again, Charlie Riverman returns, and it's always a joy to come online here and share with each of you what has come to me. I apologize for the time lapse between them, but this spring, or hasn't spring yet, but this end of winter has been a challenge for myself and my family. So I have to bounce around a lot. And with that said, I chose today because I have a little space in between. And I miss doing this. I miss doing it on a regular basis. And hopefully that will change soon. So bless you all, wherever you are around the world, and know that uh, my talk, Presence of Light, is really for all of us. It's not uh, any one uh, religion or any one belief system. It's basically what I'm guided to listen to read, to tap into, and part of my role as what I call an earth angel uh, that was given to me as a name by a woman who made this earth angel pin when she met me. And it doesn't make me any wiser or better than anyone. What it is just myself speaking from my heart after a death experience 20 something years ago. And the journey has been long and strange in many ways. And right now it's strange again, and especially with this full moon we've just had. And we are still in. It reminds me every night and wakes me up to take a look and say, yes, this is still in process. So, for those of you who are being affected by the moon, uh, here in the United States, I don't know if around the world, but here in Maine, uh, where I live, it's called a snow moon. And though we haven't had a snow on this moon, which is a good thing, we still have that cold winter uh, temperatures below, below, below. But the news is that that snow moon also is a ringing bell for the fact that spring is coming. And it really awakened me, physically awakened me. And prior to this, I think most of us have gone through these periods of up and down this wave, and the energies from the sun and everywhere has been strange and more powerful. So many of us are getting less sleep. We may be confused at times. We may go into spells of depression. And we may have great uh, awakenings. So it's a mixed bag of energy that is shifting the consciousness of all humanity. Whether you tap into that or not is everybody's situation. Many people don't listen to that. They watch TV or news or sports, and they don't look at the larger picture of humanity and Mother Earth and what's happening. For me, I can't not look at that. Everything speaks to me. So, with that said, for those of you who have listened to my talks before, um, I'm not selling anything. I'm not trying to become popular. I just speak from my heart. And I feel that's my gift to the world. I do that also at night, singing kirtan with another friend. And we've done it for almost 3 years straight, every single night. And we offer that to the world as well. You can find me on Good of the Whole, and so that's where that gets broadcast every night at 10 p.m. on Eastern time. So that's sort of my introduction today. I'm glad I've got this time that is separate and that I can share with you what, for me, is happening and what I've come to understand and to know that um, each one of us are receiving information that we may not have ever received before. And it's not something new, but it's something that's very cyclical. And right now, we're entering into a completely new cycle that is evolving, and it has to evolve in order for Mother Earth to heal. And that's my connection is to Mother Earth and her healing. And I often have said it's like being Johnny Appleseed. You just plant your seeds and go away, and when you come back, hopefully something has grown. Each of us can be like that. Each one of us have wisdom and ability to do something positive rather than negative. And right now, it's very much needed because of all the negativity around the world. And it doesn't matter who's creating that negativity or what their intention is. The fact is that everything is out of balance. And when things get out of balance, then crisis happens. Crisis can be many, many, many things. However, in this time, it's here another world war. They don't declare it a world war, but the world is at war. If you look around the world, and if people are not in the middle of the uh, nasty business, they're supporting it with ammunition and weapons. And those people are getting rich. And they're getting richer and richer and richer every day. It's not a benefit for the whole of humanity, for the whole of the animal kingdom, nor the whole of Mother Earth. So this is spring, is what it came about. The gateway to spring. And I'm going to first read a message from Buddha. It struck me when I read it. And I said, aha, one of those aha moments. It hit a chord. So the message from Buddha is three things can not be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. It's that simple. Three things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. So right now is a time of revealing the truth, revealing the hidden secrets, allowing people to become aware of how their lives have been distorted and are not aligned with the greater dimension. We'll call it the third dimension, but all of the dimensions that we belong in. And we are now in a total, how do I say it, array of misconduct. Okay? And we didn't do this to ourselves. We are the victims of others who started out perhaps with great intentions and good souls, but over time became corrupted by greed and power, and have continued to do that for thousands of years. As you look in your history books, which are not really the truth either. When I was in high school, it was. I would argue with the history teachers because somewhere from nowhere, at that age, I knew what was going on. But I had a different understanding of what was happening to these wars that we were studying about and the migration of people. And it was some ancestral wisdom that I would tap onto. Whenever I would raise, a question, the teacher would get mad at me and say, well, here's what you got to do. If you don't have the right answer, the answer in that book for the question, you're going to get a zero on it. It's that simple. So the message to me as a teenager, which is why I rebelled so much at that age, was that you either do what I say and the way I say it, or I'm just going to ignore you and treat you like, a non-valid human being. I already had parents that did that. I didn't need to go to school and get that lesson again, needless to say. We have all got histories that we look back on when we get to be my age, and some of them are very, very sad. And we have to learn how to forgive the teachers, forgive the parents, forgive those people that have hurt us so much, and realize that they were stuck in their own worldly dilemma. And they too had been traumatized and didn't know how to really appreciate everything, and didn't know what to say to a new generation of children. This is where we are now. What do we say to a new generation of children? We have a generation of children that are killing themselves with drugs. We have adults that are feeding them that drugs and making profits of it, as well as destroying the lives permanently of so many innocent beings. Some of them are just horrible stories, which is not what I'm talking about today. Today is about spring. And spring and the snow moon symbolize purity, renewal, and the transition from winter soul searching to spring's brightness, inviting humans and all of nature to focus on new beginnings. What are your new beginnings? Where would you like to begin again? How do you feel about letting go of the old and beginning something new? This is the message of the moon to me. Not that I wasn't already aware, but the message was that each of us are now being even more intensely called upon to change, to shift, to let go of the past, to let go of the pain and the suffering, and to find that which is beneficial not only to us, but to each other. Because that's the only way we're going to help Mother Earth, is to be in alignment with her and everything that she is about to do to heal herself. In the history books, this has happened before. As you can see, we have civilizations that were created by beings who were not here on Earth. They're not Earth beings, but they created great temples, and when they came here and lived here, and they did an amazing thing, and they're buried under the ground. We've had floods, we've had wipeouts of everything. We've, well, all kinds of tragedies that our Mother Earth had to, how do I say, enable in order to either awaken those people of what they were causing, or to destroy them because they had to be destroyed, because what they were doing may have been very harmful to Mother Earth. If it was the other way around, they'd still be here, and we would know them, and we would be part of that, but we're not. And the history of all of that has been distorted and burned and stolen. The ones that they've found in the caves have been hidden from us. They don't give us the full uh, amount of information. They give the information that aligns with what our today modern history books are willing to give us. And those are limited, because anytime we go to some event that teaches us something that is against the, how do I say it, the hierarchy of control of planet humans, feel is threatening or undermining, it gets erased. We can see that all in the COVID dilemma. There were many things that were hidden. They're still hidden. The same thing with these wars that were happening. Well, they're not wars, because they tell me they're not wars, but these attacks of neighbors, bordering neighbors, all wanting to take something from somebody else, rather than trying to negotiate and work out a system that's benefit for all. No, they want total control. This is what 222 the gateway of spring is going to uh, is asking us to pay attention to and to find ways that we can allow it to not disturb us to the point where we forget who we are and that we do not fall into the sleeping future of artificial intelligence. When I say artificial intelligence, I mean that what it is. It's artificial intelligence. The name is perfect for it. It's artificial. It's not real intelligence. What it is mimicking the human brain at a level that is mechanical, that is electrical. And without that, there's no brain. Just like us, if we died, there's no brain. There's no information. Yet the information we contain in our brain is not only stored here in our brain, but it's also stored outside of our brain in a field, in our whole field of energy. And we bring it in. Now, many people may not understand that. I don't understand it fully, but I know that it is. And what I always try to tell people is we need to work from our heart rather than our brain. But we first of all have to set our heart as number one teacher, number one connection to that higher self that we are in other dimensions. And many of you have heard me talk about other dimensions as being spoken to and connected with and living in simultaneously as we live here. I'm not a scientist. I'm not trying to read or copy anybody's stuff. This is my understanding from my near-death experience. And so 222 was February 22nd, was part of the this full moon. It was in the moving up to the full moon. And it's the gateway to spring. It's a great to spring. And spring is always a new beginning in nature. Spring is the time when everything comes back to life. I've got plants now standing up tall, even though it's still snowing, but they know that it's the time shift. And they go and move just like we do through the seasons. And so they're celebrating and they're pushing their way up through the earth to get the sun, to get the light. All of us need to do that. Find a place or find something some understanding that will give us the light and trigger the light within us, the light that we truly are. When you die, you'll discover that and offer it to the world. There's three things: peace, light, and love. Those three things are a triad that are our holy self, both holy, W-H, and H, holy. These are not something that scientists and all these teachers can try to put into a flat box and artificial intelligence. They are living energies. Living energies. And they keep the balance of the earth in place. When we get out of balance, Mother Earth gets out of balance. Mother Earth can get out of balance to a certain point. It's sort of like all of us before we we snap at somebody or we become overwhelmed that, we do something that's very painful to others because we're in such pain. This is what's happening. So let us look at Mother Earth as a living presence, not just a planet, just like the planets they're going to. They're not just planets. They're living beings in a completely different dimension that we will never understand if we continue to think in this primal mentality of take, own power. I didn't know I was going to go through all of that. But anyway, I'll continue. So, 222 are the gateways to spring, and we're looking forward to spring, all of us. It's a time of change. Uh, Unless we're up in the southern hemisphere, then spring here in the northern hemisphere is the end. Is you're looking towards winter, so it's the balance. But wherever you are, this is, and where I'm in the north, so this is what it's telling to me and speaking to me. Uh, so the thing is, it's a time of planning, a time of hope, a time of seeing something like an awakening. Everything is awakening. The flowers, the plants, everything is. It's the leaves are molding into the ground, fertilizing, and this whole process of growth and abundance happening in the spring. And it's always for me a beautiful time to see everything um, to grow and to be alive. As a little child, I used to love to go to gardens in town in Boston where I lived and play in a new spring. It was almost like Christmas. It was a gift. I always looked at it. It's such a beautiful gift, and I was always amazed at the beauty. And on top of that, in some of the parks, they had art festivals, which I wandered at early ages when I shouldn't have even been alone. But I loved them. It was art. It was all this beauty, this gift of soul, which I didn't understand. So 222 is not only the gateway to spring, but it also allows us to look forward for a feeling of hope and planning, which is like an awakening. So it's almost like we've been asleep, we wake up, here it is. And now we start, at this point, early March, we start to plan. We start to plan things. We no longer are in hibernation and safety from the cold and the snow because we had to protect ourselves and struggle to get through that rough period. Now we're faced with this beauty, this wonder. So let's, think about that beauty and wonder of spring, wherever you are. And even if you're in the southern hemisphere, I know your shift is different, but even when you face the spring and how wonderful you feel and how beautiful everything starts to look, and you see that growth, you see that uplifting energy, and the trees and the birds are all communicating. I'm getting bird flocks from the south now heading north. I've had red-winged blackbirds at my feeders, which is an early time for them. But here, because of the weather changes, they're a little mixed up as well as we are. So other key words, other than unifying, other than planning and awakening, are unifying and balancing. In the spring, everything comes together, works together, okay, and it works for the whole, not for the individual. Everything depends on each other thing. So 222 represents our forward movement, and that's done in a peaceful balance. It's not aggressive. It's a peaceful balance, and it's all based on faith and trust. Now, I know I can't say the trees have faith and trust as we do as humans, but they have their own language. They have their own way of speaking to it, connecting to each other, to assisting each other if they can. So basically, what we're doing now is in the 222 does is create a point of change where we begin unifying and balancing polarities. Now we know the Mother Earth's polarity, and we also know about the polarity in yin yang symbol, has to balance. Right now, that is way out of shape. It's been way out of shape for very long, but now Now it's at a point of crisis where the masculine energy is so aggressive that it's just destroying the balance. Okay, not only in the planet but within us, and so we have been taught things that have led us to this point because that fed one side or the other. Okay, we're out of balance, masculine and feminine. Okay, so other keywords to write now are harmony, vision, and spirit. Three words: harmony. Where was I? Harmony, vision, and spirit. I got my show notes here, so I can't remember all of this because of my brain fog. But I do write it down and I send it out written on my blog if you ever want to read it. So this is the whole point. It's we have to stand firm for the benefit of all. All means Mother Earth and everything inclusive of that. It also includes the elements of air, water, fire, ether, all of the necessities for life to live here on this planet, rather in a different dimension where our other planets are basically, and we're not seeing that life there. So it's about restoration, okay? And it's about restoration that I'm thinking about, and it's forward movement. It's forward movement with a peaceful balance of faith and trust. We're creating a point of change where we seek to unify and balance those polarities. I may have mentioned this earlier. Harmony, vision, and spirit assist us in standing firm for the benefit of all. Harmony, vision, and spirit. Here you are, three words, another triad to balance us so that no matter which side you turn it on, it's offering us something positive. And the message of all of this today is to join each other in this living presence as one family of peace, light, and love, which I am here to encourage and to feed energy to. Because by practicing unconditional love towards ourselves and each other is more healing than anything we can do. Unconditional love to each other. We'll take a little breath here. Caroline. Okay, really the balance between spirit and mind. Thank you, dear. And it is about balance. It's all about balance. The spirit comes through your heart. It doesn't come through your mind. It comes through your heart. And maybe people will say, oh no, that's not the way I've been taught. I know what you've been taught. But spirit is who you really are. You're spirit in a human form. And that's what the problem is. Our human form and our human brain has become so distorted now that it's created its own credence for life and its own ways of controlling that. And that's what's happened to Mother Earth. She's become a victim of human brains. Thank you for reminding me. That was not in my show notes. So our restoration task is what I'm talking about, or what came to me in this full moon, is that it starts with conscious recalibration and stabilization. And that's what's needed to repair masculine damage. And what I just want to talk about is masculine damage. I'm not talking about the feminine. The feminine has been held down and tortured for long enough. And the problem is the masculine has become so unaware of what feminine energy really is that they think of it as a threat to their power. Okay? And when you look at these people who are running for political, most of them are male who do not like when the female stand as tall or as bold as they do. That not only threatens them, it makes them angry and want to attack them. And they do that very, very well. It's because they've created an art of it. And this is part of the problem, is that we are out of balance. We are on a global masculine, feminine alignment. Not so much with it physically, but with the energies that each one represent. Okay? So it's not about the physical, it's about and what we're seeing now in children is how many people are one or the other. Is that something absurd? Is that something that was intended? What happened? The reality is we all have masculine and feminine. Okay? One side of our brain is masculine, one side of it is feminine. Okay? And they communicate. And when they're out of balance, we become out of balance. When we think only on one side and dismiss the other side, or etc., whatever we do is based on polarity and it's based on balance. We are now, as a human species, way out of balance. Okay? So unifying and balancing our inner polarity requires us to be in a receptive state where we can become conscious within our hearts. It's all about the heart. It's all about the heart. And it's there that we can cease unconscious or programmed behavior. May sound way out there for some. But the reality is when we come back to our heart, remember that the heart was the first thing that came online here in that human body that was in the mother's womb. The heart. That's the first thing that started going to make us a reality here. Okay? And to be able to anchor. And so we're the seed, it's the seed that cracked open and started to grow. Just like the plants, just like the trees. It's that heart. No heart beating, no life. And it's that simple. Sure, they can give us machines, put stuff in us, and keep us living for. But the reality is, if that heart didn't start in the first place, we would not have been born, and we would not be in a physical form. So now we have robots, which they're creating, and there's no heart in that. It's a communication system. It's an artificial intelligence. Does this ring to you? An artificial intelligence is the brain of those that have no hearts. I want you to think about that because that just came through me from my guides, is to look at this and look and say, no heart, no life. As a human, what happens is that we've shut down the heart and put the focus on the human brain. Teaching, preaching, all of these things, this bombarding with information that is beneficial and yet also harmful. There's no balance. If we look at things now, when we look at the TV and the movies, and all, they're all about killing and murder and rape and horrors. And we're looking about, there were movies about zombies years ago. The zombies are now living on our streets, hung up on drugs. They are literal zombies. We've created zombies. Aren't we brilliant? The sad thing is we are destroying the whole ethical process of humanity and its relationship to Mother Earth. Mother Earth is replying. Mother Earth is asking everyone, all of those leaders, to stop. Because if they don't stop, she will go into a super mode of re-healing herself. She's done this many times before. As I said in the beginning, the ruins of their living is plainly visible. I can take a breath. Oh, bless you. I hope I don't bore you all. So we are multidimensionals living in an infinitely vast and ever-changing cosmos. And with that message that I received is we're also deeply connected with the sacredness of the earth and the wisdom of our bodies and the healing power of nature. This is the key. We are part of Mother Earth. We're not here on, it's not something us and them. There's a unified field between Mother Earth and trees, water, us. There's always a connection, okay? So by remembering who we are and our mission, yes, we all have missions, revealing the truth behind all of these beliefs and becoming more balanced, we can cease unconscious programmed behaviors and be more receptive to the light and the wisdom of the whole multiverse, not just our one little, everything is connected. If you look at our universe as a little molecule in a human body, that's how vast the universe is. Okay? They're not going to teach us that. They're not going to want us to understand that. They're not going to want us to understand that we have that much power to change things in a positive manner for everyone rather than a positive situation for a few and to hell with the rest, because that defies their greed and their ego. And that's the masculine energy out of balance. And it's not just men. Over the past 30, 40 years, women had to stand up to the man. And rightfully so. She was bold enough years ago, and she's bold enough now. She's always been bold enough to stand up and do that. But the problem was they started retraining their energies to be more masculine and feminine, and they became out of balance. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you're going to war with somebody, you need to have the right artillery to defend yourself and to respond. So this has been a war between men and women, masculine and feminine. It isn't the physical part, it's the brain part that's really bothered. And it's struggled. And what we need now is to come back and balance those two within ourselves first. And as we do that, it will spread. It's sort of like seeds. The seeds will replant in the new generations. And we are the ones who are left here and have chosen to be here at this time in order to do that. So look inside yourself and say, where can I help by transitioning some of the thinking in the world from what we've been taught to what is needed for the future generations and Mother Earth to survive without total disaster. Take another breath. All right, let me read. We are also more deeply connected with the sacredness of the earth, the wisdom of our bodies, and the healing of nature. Well, Melissa, you're welcome. This is for everyone. It's a joy to come and speak from my heart and from my guides to everyone, because we're all in this together. There's no We're all being affected by it, masculine, feminine, young, old, well or not well. It's a crisis that I'm sure has happened before in different forms, but this one is the one we're in, and we need to work with to uh, calm it down at least, so that Mother Earth can heal, or we are just signing our own problems for the future. So, by remembering who we are and our mission, revealing the truth behind all beliefs, and becoming more balanced, we can cease unconscious or programmed behaviors and be more receptive. The word receptive is what I became after my death. I became receptive because my brain was damaged. Nobody could tell me what was wrong with my brain. Well, is this and that, and they do, but they had no clue what happened. But the reality is that it's not for them. They have to identify things based on their teachings, and they had no teachings for near-death experiencers, and they were all writing down stuff. And I was guided not to talk to any of those people, because those people were trying to write it down so they could put it in their books and make an alignment that it was in line with the government and the doctors and all of this other stuff, so that we can dismiss this fact that we are more than just a human being. And it took me going to a crystal skull and sitting with it, and then having me transfer into its world and say, welcome home, and show me that, to awaken me to the higher level that each of us have, to become aware of things that we don't even know exist, and can't know it exists because our teachings have told us that it's impossible, and we've believed it. Now is the time where the impossible is happening, both good and bad. So, again, by remembering who we are and our mission, that is from the higher sources of our beingness, the key is our love-based reactions need positive energy. Just like clean water and the kind, loving seeds we sow that will grow into powerful and beautiful reality, something that will blossom in the future. And I say that because I'm very concerned about the future generations. And in many ways. So one way is just one point. But the whole future of humanity, period. Doesn't matter what language we speak, what color we speak, whether we want to be masculine or feminine or whatever that is. The key is that we are living with so much trauma right now that is past us, that the problem now, that same thing with Mother Earth, there is so much trauma in Mother Earth that she has to release it, or she will die. And she has no intention of dying. None whatsoever. And she has been here before, and she will do what she has to do again. Not that she wants to. And this is the message I get from Mother Earth, is she does not want this to happen. She wants people to awaken and to honor the fact that life in this planet is precious. More precious than a $200,000 car. More precious than the $15 billion that somebody can just burn up and throw away on a party. This is not, or an election. This is not about money. Money is nothing. Mother Earth does not need money. There is no money in Mother Earth's language. There just is perfection. Perfection. Do and be the best that you can be at whatever it is you do. If you're the shoe shiner, I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to try shoe shining and make some money. It didn't last long. But to be a shoe shiner, be the best shoe shiner that ever existed. And know that when those people walk away with those shoes, they're happy. They're feeling good. This is what we need to do, is relearn how to make other people's happy and feeling loved and cared for. So in closing, Peggy Crowley, bless you and thank you for being here. And know that, again, this is all listed on Humanity Healing. And the words will be posted on my, this is my brain fog. It's called Reflections of Riverman blog. So you can read the words that were written, that I'm talking from and from within my heart. So in the last part here is just some questions to ask ourselves. And I couldn't get the name of the source. It was an article, and these were pasted in between a bunch of other things. So I don't know who exactly asked these questions, but I thought they were important for all of us. And I'm going to put this in the chat for you, because a copy of this might be helpful to everyone. There we go. All right. So we'll go through them. Bless you all for staying with me. What is our heart, body, and soul telling us? Where are we ready for more love, peace, and joy? What old beliefs, wounds, or fears are holding us back? Where do we need to clarify our limits, boundaries, and priorities? Where do we need to let go of shame, blame, guilt, and resentment? Where do we need to take a leap of faith and act on our inner guidance? Let's all just pause for a moment. Let us all remember who we truly are in our heart. Allow the brain to continue what it does, what it is designed to do from your heart. Just like you move your hand, move it from your heart. When you breathe, you are automatically moving from your heart. If you don't breathe, the heart does not get nourishment. The brain has no control of that. I mean, you can force yourself to stop breathing, but the nature of who you are is automatic. You are designed by something, someone, somewhere, at a level that we can't understand as in this physical body right now. But if we allow it, if we allow that presence, call it God, call it anything, allowing that to come into us and live it is the key. You don't need another sermon. You don't need another wizard. You're each one of us. You're each one of us, and we're a part of you. We are all wizards. and allow that wisdom rise from your heart to calm the brain, to bring back the balance between the masculine and the feminine as best you can. As best as you can. And honor both as one. Unity. We talk about unity. There's unity of people's thinkings, but can we create unity within our own mind so that our heart is not having to send different signals to get one part of the brain to understand or the other one to understand? There is no separation. Bless you all. I love you. I thank you. I respect you. I am you. You are me. One heart. One love. Forever. In unity. Blessings, everyone. And thank you so much for sharing some time with me. And you can always find it in the replays. You can find me on Facebook. And as I say, I have a blog page. Let's see if I can get that up. And no, I don't want to leave here. I want to copy that, I think. I'll put it right down here. Yeah. I'm getting bolder. I've only been doing this for 3 or 4 years. Thank you so much, Humanity Healing, for all that you have done for me with all of your messages. I know when I first came back from death, you were a big help. And I know you don't know it, but bless you. We've been around a long time. Love you all. I don't know, maybe I'll try Sundays to do these talks. I can't really, at this time, everything's up and down. And hoping it will level off and get a standard weekly place. In the meantime, you can find me here on my blog, or you can go to YouTube. You can look right through the videos in Humanity Healing. They're, I'm sure, all there. They know more about me than I do. Bless you all, and enjoy spring when it comes.